everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're really excited that you're here. Congratulations. This is going to be about a 30-minute call, and we're really going to center around sharing people's stories of health. So grab a glass of water and sit back and enjoy. We're really going to talk about people's health stories. And so we've got some great things to share. Check out the chat window and please feel free to be interactive there. So my name is Dawn. You'll see my husband there, Brian, and that's our little girl, Natalie. What's interesting is it says they're certified health coaches. And I have to say 5 years ago, when I had my first meal replacement, I had no idea what journey I was embarking on. And although health and wellness has always been an integral part of who I am and what my mission is kind of in life as a nurse for so many years. I really never thought that certified health coach would be next to my name. And I can guarantee my husband did not think that either. And there we've got the littlest health coach right there between us getting started. So this is just a little bit about my family. You can see the pictures there. 5 years ago, I was a busy nurse working long hours, and I had let my health kind of set to the back burner. So I saw a friend of mine. This program had worked so well. It was highly recommended by the physicians that I was working with. And so I got started and lost 45 pounds. And fast forward, you can see a picture of my father down there right below my before and after. And he's really the reason I decided to become a health coach. 2 weeks into my journey into health, he said, do you think that this would work for me? And I said, well, I know it's working for me. And so I know it would work for you. So I decided that I would help him. And really the rest is kind of history. My husband and I really love centering our life around what's most important. You'll see in the bottom right-hand corner there, that was just a couple weeks ago here in Portland, just sharing to a room of over 300 people excited to learn about health. So that is a little bit about me. But who's on the call tonight? We have people joining us from all over the United States. And really, maybe you came in and you're not really sure what the call's all about. You found a Facebook link and thought that sounds interesting. I'm going to hop on. We have people watching who have really, been watching transformations on Facebook, or maybe you've seen a friend or a family member make some changes in their health and you're just curious about the program. We have coaches from all across the country tuning in who this is part of their habits of health in their community. And we have clients who are on their journeys currently and just tapping in for the support in the community. And maybe you're a client or someone who is or who is a coach and you're wondering, could this be for me? Is this something that I'm actually curious about learning more and helping others with? So we have people from all across the country on the call tonight, and we're just really excited that you're here with us. We're going to be sharing some stories of optimal health transformation. I could tell you a lot about my story, but really we're going to be hearing from some special people tonight. And so we're going to go ahead and get started with my friend Christina and her mom Karen. Christina and I met after we had both had children. And actually, Christina, I don't want to steal your story, so I'm going to let you go ahead and get started. Why don't you just share with people just a little bit about how after we connected, things started kind of changing in your world?
Well, so I was nursing a baby and I had gained a lot of weight while I was pregnant, and I just couldn't lose the weight and maintain a milk supply. And so I struggled and I was really reaching out for help, and you reached out to me and provided that for me and taught me about nutrition. I mean, I thought I knew what I was doing, and I thought I had an idea of how to eat the right way or the right things or what was healthy for me. And I really just found out that I knew nothing. And so I started losing weight. And my baby got older and I got thinner, and I lost about 50 pounds doing the nursing moms plan. And then my baby wasn't nursing anymore. And I was also in the course of all of this diagnosed with lupus. And I was having a lot of pain and inflammation. And we talked about how nutrition could possibly benefit me. And so I went on to the full nutrition plan, and I went from taking 6 to 8 pills first thing in the morning to only taking the absolutely mandatory lupus maintenance to keep the progression at bay meds. I don't take pain medication hardly ever anymore. My headaches, my anxiety, all of that stuff kind of started to resolve itself just from focusing on nutrition, taking care of my body, putting good things into it and getting good results. The energy was amazing. I had been suffering from such extreme fatigue that I needed, I had like a 2:00 nap time. That 2:00 every day, even if I didn't get to take a nap, man, I felt like I wasn't going to make it till 8 when the kids went to bed. And all of that changed for me on the nutrition plan. And it truly changed my life.
That's incredible, Christina. I remember chatting with you in the very beginning, and then just, weekly as things progressed. And I love that there's the little, I want to inspire people. I want to inspire someone. So when they look at me, they say, because of you, I didn't give up. And share a little bit about Christina, because you were actually able to pay this forward to your mom, right?
No, absolutely. So my mom, I kind of watched her struggle for a long time, for as long as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
And she had done some maybe not so healthy stuff. And really, honestly, the very first thing I thought when I saw what this did for me, I'm like, my mom has to do this.
I love that. And I got to cheer my dad on too. And it's just really amazing doing it with someone that we love that much. Karen, are you here? Can you share a little bit about your story with us?
Sure, I'm here. I appreciate the opportunity. I was a chubby child. And as Christina mentioned, I struggled with 20 to 30 pounds my entire adult life. I tried everything from counting calories to counting points to prepackaged foods to diets that were cottage cheese and grapefruit. I did drops to pills. I could lose the weight, but then it kept coming back. And I was frustrated, but I wasn't going to give up because I knew at some point I would find what the answer was. So last October, Christina called me and said, why don't you join the health challenge with me? It would be fun because we could do it together. And because she asked, I said, sure. So I started just kind of doing it on my own, and I got stuck about the second week into the challenge. So I took a deep breath and said, okay, I'm going to try the 5-in-1 plan. Well, fast forward 6 months, I lost 30 pounds. And in April, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had a lumpectomy, followed by 4 weeks of radiation. Because of Take Shape for Life, I was feeling great, both physically and mentally. I had lost the weight I wanted to lose. I had gone through transition into maintenance. And I think that prepared me for the breast cancer challenge. So I decided I wasn't going to change my routine while I was going through radiation. Mm-hmm. And I didn't. I was walking 2 miles every morning. I was eating my 6 small meals. And at that point, I was on a 3-and-3 program, 3 meals of mine and 3 meal replacements. Mm-hmm. And my breast surgeon told me that I'm cured, although I still have to follow up with routine mammograms every 6 months and with a medical oncologist. But mm-hmm. I really credit my speedy recovery to my healthy body and mind as a result of becoming involved with the Take Shape for Life program. And it came to me at the right time, and I am so grateful. And I intend to practice the Take Shape for Life program for the rest of my life. And I've recently become a health coach myself. So
that's incredible.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Thank you, Karen, for sharing. I mean, wow, that is, the power of this program, the power of healthy habits, and the power of community, because it really helped you through that whole, the whole journey over the last 6 months. And how wonderful that you and Christina get to do this together. Thank you guys so much for sharing. Really powerful story. And I know that there are people out there that will resonate with that. Oops. And going right down from San Diego to Arizona, we have Kathy and Pat Deichler. And I just have to share that these two have known me since I was a little girl from back in Wyoming. And so Kathy and Pat, are you here to share a little bit about your story and just what's changed over the last few months?
Yes, it's been crazy. Just 4.5 months ago, we just kind of hit a rut. We weren't really doing anything. We weren't very active. We're both in our 60s. Pat retired in October. He's been on diabetes medicine since 1989. And it seemed like they just kept adding more and more prescriptions to him. And like Karen, we've tried all kinds of diets. I mean, we've been together 40 years. I've tried probably quite a few more than he has, but it just never lasted. You'd always gain it back. And so it was always a yo-yo. And I actually followed you, Dawn, on Facebook for 4 years, 5 years, watching all your success stories and your transformation, and even called you a couple of years ago to talk to you about this program. But I was one of those that, no, I just didn't think it was for us yet, or for me. So 2 more years go by, and I saw pictures of people that we knew from in Wyoming post some before and after pictures. And it was at that moment I looked at Pat and said, we need to call Dawn. So the end of the phone call, we were 2 clients, excited, apprehensive, not too sure if this is going to work, but boom, within a week we could start feeling things. Pat spent a lot of one-on-one time with this doctor over the first month because he was basically over-medicated for what was happening to his body. Long story short, we started April 14th. Pat weighed 261.8 pounds, was taking 14 different prescriptions. This morning he weighed 204.2 pounds. He is currently only on 4 medications. They have eliminated 10 of his medications. All of his diabetes medication is gone. So he's lost 57 pounds in 4 months, and he has 15 pounds to go to his goal. I've lost 37 pounds in 4 months. I have 5 more pounds to go to my goal, and I got good news today. They took me off my blood pressure medicine today, so I was pretty excited about that.
That's incredible, you guys.
It's so much has happened, and just how good we feel, how healthy we feel, the energy we have, and it's like our life is just turned around completely. We're looking to move to a new community that's going to coincide with this new lifestyle that we're creating. And we put our house on the market, so we're just waiting for that to sell. I just gave notice at work that I want to cut back even more at work from 3 days a week down to 1 day a week, so I can pursue this new passion I found. I can't thank Take Shape enough for what it's brought into our lives. It's the losing the weight's great. That's a real nice perk. You get to buy new clothes and all that fun stuff. But what we're learning to help us go forward to live a long, healthy life is amazing, and just the tremendous support that we're feeling from everybody involved with Take Shape for Life. Everybody that's been through the journey, going through the journey, just starting out. Huge family, and I've never met so many positive, upbeat, encouraging people, and just overwhelmed with gratitude for being a part of it.
That's so wonderful, you guys. And Pat, give us a thumbs up in the back, because we know you're a man of few words, but you're like, that is incredible, you guys. And absolutely, that is what it's all about. Thank you so much for sharing. I feel like we could kind of stop the call right now. You guys just like hit the nail on the head. This is really all about the community and the support, and so much more than just about what you lose. It's what you gain along the way. And so, that kind of brings us to, what about you? We've got people from all over the country tuning into the call, and some are curious about health, some are curious about moving forward on their own journey, and maybe even helping others. And we're going to cover a lot of that and a lot of different things. And just like you, Kathy and Pat, and even Karen and Christina, like, I started this thinking I was going to lose 45 pounds and that was going to be the end of it. And what happened is I gained like an entire community of health and so much more. So we're really going to focus on that. And that's really, I think, what's so special. This is just a really cool kind of side note I like to highlight, is that losing the weight and what you're doing for that is really kind of the hows and the whats. And we like to focus on optimal health, right? Like Kathy, what you just said, gaining health for long term. And so, over the years of doing this and coaching people, and then the years in the background of nursing, that's a lot about, hows and whats. I live in Portland. So it's like anyone I meet has got something that they're doing, right? Like you were talking about the different things that you had tried. Some people are doing juicing and some are eating clean, and they can tell me all about their, CrossFit workouts. And not that those are bad, those are amazing, but that's really the hows and the whats. And what we like to focus on is the why, because when you're in tune with what you're creating, Kathy, Pat, like you guys are just talking about creating an optimally healthy life, shifting to even living in a new community that supports those habits, supports those goals, being surrounded by people that support that. When you have that why, all of the rest falls into place. So that's really what we are going to be focusing this call around is, really moving your health forward every single day, just like we heard from Christina and Karen and Pat and Kathy so far on. So I love that this is just the threads that are going to be kind of woven throughout the call tonight. We really talk about physical health, mental health. And yes, Kathy, like you get to cut back from your job that, is a little stressful because we talk sometimes in the middle of your work. But to really center in your life around what's most important and, financial peace, abundance, things like that. It's all interwoven into our overall health. And so you're going to just see this as kind of a theme tonight. So one thing that is so important is that we have a health program that just includes weight loss. You've heard people share about their weight loss. That's amazing. Pat, you've lost over 50 pounds. That's 10 years of quality life back into your life, says the American Diabetic Association, right? That's incredible. But it's so much more than just the weight loss. It's what we've gained. So if you can kind of see on this stair step, reaching a healthy weight is step 2. And we get to really come alongside someone and it's the step approach, right? So transitioning into healthy eating is the next step. And then learning habits of health, like you guys riding your recumbent bikes and moving to a new area that supports your health. And then optimizing health for your age. We all come from different backgrounds and different age groups. We work with teenagers, and we also work with people who are in their 80s and 90s. So it's really about finding where your next steps are in your health. And then living a longer, healthier life is something that we also really talk about. So there's 2 plans. You heard Karen talk about the 3 and 3, and what most people get started on if they have any weight to lose is the 5 and 1. That's the weight loss nutrition meal plan. And that is where I was able to tap into, burning that fat naturally, lose 45 pounds. You heard Kathy and Pat's wonderful results. We also have other plans, like you heard Christina mention, the Nursing Moms Plan. But really, it's just about finding that plan that fits where you're at. And the foundations of health are similar with all of them. Eating every 2 to 3 hours. The programs are clinically proven. In the 5 and 1 plan, you actually tap into what we call a mild fat burn, which is where your body naturally burns fat. Yeah. I'll take that. And you lose up to 2 to 5 pounds per week your first 2 weeks, and then 1 to 2 pounds thereafter. And again, that's what we're able to say because that's what the peer-reviewed clinical studies say. We often find a little bit higher results than that. So we can say, Kathy, Pat, results not typical, but we'll take them anyways, right? This is what a typical day on plan looks like. So, look at that. You get to eat often. You get to start your day with a healthy breakfast. You get to have a lean and green. And that can be something you have out and about or you make at home. So you're really creating those fundamental habits of learning how to prepare your own meals. But for 5 of the meals, you have them in your purse or man purse or in your back pocket, and you're able to eat frequently, fuel your body, and of course, you'll see all those bottles of water there. We focus on drinking lots of water and really keeping ourselves hydrated. So that is basically kind of where the nutrition plan falls in. And I love that even though I'm now a lot healthier, I certainly didn't get any less busy. So I always have a snack or a meal replacement on me to grab when I'm out and about. Here is just a depiction of really the community and the entire program. It's centered around education, support, which includes our community, and then also the nutrition plan. And so we've got the Habits of Health system. You have a health coach that comes alongside you, really someone who has been there, has either lost health or lost weight, or just really dove into the habits of health materials and learned about the program. And they're there to encourage you and really to just be your cheerleader so that you don't give up. So that, like Christina says, you know, if someone could look at you and say, hey, I could do that. That's really what we do as health coaches, is we inspire people. And then, of course, the nutrition plan. And so what exactly do I get? This is just a typical, what someone usually starts with, 1 month of full program, comes right to your doorstep. You have a personal health coach and all of the support that comes in with that. We have nutrition support and just a whole lot of support in our optimal living community. That's all complimentary. And like the name, Take Shape for Life, you have access to that for life. So you really have a lifelong health coach and a lifelong community of support. The program materials come with that, and all of that is simply about $12 a day, which is about the cost of going out for lunch, right? So there's that. This is probably one of my favorite slides, you guys, to share, because these are all women and families that are very near and dear to my heart. But there's me in the upper left-hand corner, and it's not my favorite picture, but that's okay. That was at the beginning of one of the health games. So what happened is I went home to Wyoming and shared it with my good friend, Lori, who's a Zumba instructor. She shared it with her good friend and one of the other Zumba instructors, Abby, who shared it with one of her best friends, Andrea, who shared it with her friend, Julie. And then you see Julie's beautiful wedding picture there. Talk about life transformed. And Julie shared it with her friend, Shauna. So that ripple effect of health. And really, because one person decided to get healthy and make a change, everybody else saw it. So this is a beautiful depiction of the ripple effect and how people trust real people. And so we're on a mission. So I have to say, when I went home to Wyoming and I shared this with Lori, she knew a lot of people. And she quickly was like, I'm going to tell everyone about this. Okay, wait, what are we going to do? What are we going to do with all of those people that we want to help get healthy? And so really, you can be a part of this mission and paying health forward in a couple of ways. You can refer your friends and family, because as you start on program, you start living a healthy life, you're going to start looking better, feeling better, being more active. I mean, Kathy and Pat can just say, everywhere they go, people are like, what are you doing? And so it's just that natural progression to have a desire to kind of cheer on your own friends and family. And that's what we call paying it forward. And most people do pay it forward because, you know, let's face it, the people that you're around, the people in your life, like when my dad came to me and said, do you think it would work for me? Immediately I knew it would. But immediately I knew that he was so important to me. I wanted to be the one to help him. I wanted to be the one to cheer him on. And so I decided to be a coach, and we decided to just do it together. And so we actually got to do program and get into fat burn and do all of that together. And it was just fantastic. So those are two ways you can be part of our mission to help America really get healthy. And, you know, I can talk about all the different reasons to pay it forward. And these are fantastic points to highlight. It does reinforce your decision to stay healthy. It's an amazing community of people. You're getting the chance to tap into that tonight. You can be a part of impacting someone else's life while you're focusing on your own health. That's pretty amazing. And you can have part or full-time income, and really it's a ripple effect. But instead of me sharing a lot about that, I would really like to bring on a good friend and a girl I went to college with, Christy. Christy, can you share a little bit about what has changed in your health in just the last few months, and even how sharing it and paying it forward and coming alongside us as a health coach has impacted your life?
Yes. Hi, Dawn. Thank you for the really nice intro there. And I just want to say hello to everyone who's on the call. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy evening away from your families for this short call and listening to us. Thank you. All right. So speaking of why, I'm really going to have to speak a lot about my why and why this program has changed my life. So in the last 6 years, I have lost 6 friends. 5 of those were due to lifestyle choices, and only 1 was a car accident. I have 2 aunts who are survivors of breast cancer. And 2 years ago, June, my dad, in the upper left corner there, was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. 2 weeks from his diagnosis, he was gone. And I remember laying in the bed next to him and holding him as he was fighting to take his last breath to die and move on. And at the same time, I had my baby unborn in my belly, and she was fighting to take her breath to live. So I was kind of stuck there in a paradigm. And it was at that moment I knew that as soon as my baby was out of me, born, I needed to start making changes in my life if I wanted to be here for my family, knowing the wonderful genetics I have in my family. So she was born healthy, thank goodness. And I spent the next year and a half struggling to lose about 100 pounds. I tried everything, any diet I could think of. I did intense workouts, food deprivation, all the above. And the only thing that was doing to me is causing more weight gain. And because of the high intensity impacts and being overweight, I was increasing my physical injuries. So about 6 months ago, I decided, you know what, my way was no longer working, and I really had to swallow my pride and call and reach out to my good friend Dawn, who obviously knew something more than I did. So I called her, and she was able to not work with me, but help teach me that through proper nutrition, hydration, sleep, and guess what, decreased exercise, I was actually able to lose some weight. So fast forward 6-7 months, I am now 85 pounds down. And oh my goodness, I can't even begin to tell you how much better I feel. The beginning of this journey, it was only about the weight loss and getting healthy. Now I jump out of bed. I can't wait to start my day. I play with my girls. We go to the park. My husband is getting healthy. It feels incredible. So back up real quick. So April, I'm feeling great, right? April, I get a referral to the oncologist. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I needed a little attitude adjustment, and thankfully reached out to Dawn, and the community that this Take Shape offers is so incredible. And and through a couple months of support and reaching out to her, I was able to be at peace wherever things may be. And on June 19th was my dad's 2-year anniversary for his death. And I woke up that morning and I thought, I can spend the next few months, the next couple years worrying and stressing about my future, about my kids' future, what's going to happen, what might not. There's all those what ifs, and that's all they are, is what ifs. So I decided, you know what? It is time I start living. It is time I reach out and pay it forward, and reach out to anyone who will listen to me, anyone who is ready to take that change in their life and in their health, and be them, coach them and cheer them on and just love on them. And so I got busy, and that's what I did. And I started reaching out to people. My husband was my first person. I said, you know what? I'm going to get healthy, you're getting healthy, and you're going to be around for us because we're going to do amazing things. So I am just on mission. I want to help people, and I just want to help people feel better. I want them to have the joy to be able to get out of bed and play with your kids, have the energy to just make it through the day, be able to walk up those stairs without being out of breath, and feel good in your own skin again, and laugh. Oh my goodness, I don't know. When was the last time you actually laughed for no reason? Like just got up and laughed. I'm like, oh my goodness, I laugh so much now. And You know, I have spent too many days celebrating lives of friends and family who are no longer with me. I want to start celebrating lives who are alive and living with me and around me. All we are given is this day and this life. How do you want us to celebrate yours?
Wow, Christy. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. This is what it's really all about. It's that life changing, that transformation, the fact that you are now helping so many of your friends and your family to watch your husband get healthy, to be able to play with your children again. It's a freedom that you have in your life now. And I love that, Christy, you're helping 7 or 8 of your really close friends and family members get healthy. That is bringing blessings into your family beyond measure, being able to do new things and just really live your lives. So thank you so much, Christy, for sharing that. Such a powerful story. You guys, really, this is about that ripple effect and putting on our own oxygen mask and then also sharing it with others. The next wonderful woman I'm going to have come on, we're going from Spokane, Washington, all the way over to South Carolina with Miss Brooke and her husband, Rob. Really, this is an amazing journey. And I would just love to just kind of highlight that, Brooke and just like Christy shared, helping that first person is an incredible life change, and then helping more people, and then actually helping other moms come home from their jobs and come home and be with their children more. That is pivotal. I'd like to celebrate that Brooke, I'm not going to share your story. I want you to take it away, my dear, but you have lots to celebrate, and just from mama to mama and family to family getting healthy. It's pretty incredible. So, all right, Brooke, share your story, my dear.
Thank you, Dawn, and thank you all for being on the call tonight. And this is wonderful. I actually have one of my main reasons for becoming a health coach sitting on my lap right now. She's up a little bit late. We're on the East Coast, so it's kind of late. But where do I start other than with my family? All of these stories have been so emotional, and I may get emotional on you, but my family is important to me, just as everyone else's is. And I have been a working mother since I had my first child 9 years ago, and always wanted to be at home. But we worked, and both my husband and I had to work to support our family. And, I was also overweight, and I was unhappy. And I never knew that a year ago, when my friend from high school came home to visit her mother, that just talking to her would give me this wonderful opportunity to lose weight, be happy, share this wonderful gift with others, and be now a stay-at-home mom and work from home. I've been searching for this for 9 years, since Coleman was born. And that's Coleman and myself parasailing together. And a year ago, I wouldn't have done that with him. I was 200 pounds, and I wouldn't have been able to get the harness over my legs. And we would have really been sailing crooked, because I weighed 200 pounds and he weighs under 100. So it wouldn't have been much fun, but that was my life. I did not participate in my life. One reason was I was always working. I was always having to prepare, and everything was scheduled, and everything was, had to be this way, because I was a working mother of 3 children. I I couldn't take care of myself. I didn't have time. And I was suffering. I started having hip issues, pain. I started having ankle pain. I was 36 years old and I was hurting and I was missing out a lot on life. And I heard a quote recently that sums it up for me. And that quote is, "Every one of us will die, but only some of us will live." And in that lower left-hand picture right there, I am living. I didn't have to be at work that week. I could work from the beach. I could get off of that parasail and help a client. I was living, and I was doing it with my child. And he tells me constantly, "Mommy, you are so much fun. You do stuff with us." And those are the words that he stresses. Because I am living my life now, and it's wonderful. And that's what I've heard all night, is that we are all now alive.
Oh my goodness, Brooke. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. You're right. You are living. I've still never been parasailing because I'm a little scared of heights, but you know what? I think you just inspired me, girl. That's incredible. And thank you so much, Brooke, for taking the time. I know it's a little late, and you know what, but you get to center your life around what matters most to you now, and seeing the pictures of you and your beautiful family that you now get to spend so much more time with, and you and your husband there doing a run. You guys were on vacation. I think you just said, "Oh, we found a run today. We're going to go do this." I mean, talk about fun and talk about living. So thank you so much for sharing. And I think that leads us right into this slide where you really, we've heard so much tonight about people getting healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances, coming home to be with your family. You've really found this place where your mission meets your passion, and your profession, your vacation can all be one, right? If we look around us, the world needs what we have. There are other families, there are other moms, there are other dads out there struggling and hurting and not being able to spend time with their families. And there are other people who just maybe want to take their health to the next level, whatever that is for them. And we really have found where all of that comes together. And that's in this amazing Take Shape for Life community. And so, so inspired by all the stories. One thing that I know some people are kind of curious about is, really, what would it look like for me to join this community of coaches and pay this forward? And, is it a good fit for me? And, I don't think anyone has heard the entire night. We don't talk about money. We don't talk about cars or fancy things. We talk about the real tangible things in life that are priceless. They're worth much more than silver or gold or finances, is that, the families and being together. But I know that this is definitely a little secret, that this is just some stats of what it's like. What if you decided to cheer on 5 of your good friends and family? What would that look like? And so that would look like senior coach. And that average senior coach cheering on 5 friends and family, it makes about $330 a month, which is about $4,000 a year. How awesome is that? To just be doing what you love and be cheering on your friends and family, and to make that. And most coaches, in fact, almost 60% are making almost $8,000 a year. Brooke, you and I talked about this, but when can you walk into your boss and say, "Hey, I'd like a raise"? And can that raise be $8,000 this year? Because, that's really what my family needs, and that would make a lot of difference for us, and that would help us do some things. That doesn't happen, right? Well, and you'll see some other incomes on here, and these are very, very tangible incomes. These are very simple. With as simple as our business path is, most and many people reach the level of executive director, which is there at the bottom, where you see someone's making around $33,000 a year. You guys, in many parts of the country, that's a full-time income. And I can tell you from experience and from helping lots and lots of people reach that rank, that income level, that is very doable and very part-time hours with being a health coach. So, what would that look like to you? Some of the things that aren't on here are some of the leadership levels and incomes, and those are on the official income disclosure statement. So if this piques your interest and you're curious about this, go ahead and reach out to your health coach or the person who invited you, and you can definitely find out more about that. But these are just some really easy to grasp stats. My husband Brian and I are global directors, and that means that our income levels, significantly higher than what's printed here. But what it really means is that there's a whole lot of people getting healthy all across the country, and that's what matters to us. Every dollar that a health coach makes means someone's life is changing. And so the other aspect of that I'm really excited about is the leadership and the personal growth. In a month and a half, my husband and I get to go to Sundance, Utah. So the Robert Redford Resort. Yeah, that's where we have our leadership retreat every year. And it is so much fun that, those are the intangible pieces of coaching that are priceless, and we really don't get in a lot of other areas. Never got to go there and have a personal development workshop as a nurse. So anyways, just some really easy to grasp stats on that, and please reach out if you'd like any more information. So where do we go from here? Really excited that so many people from across the country joined us tonight. And, thank you so much, everyone who shared. Really thank you for everyone who joined us on the call, taking a little bit out of your evening. Hopefully something that was shared helped move you forward in your health journey, helped move you to that next step that you'd like to take. Maybe something piqued your interest that you'd like to learn more about. But I never thought, when I, again, had that very first meal replacement and started on my health journey, that 5 years later, my husband and I would be both, working from home and able to travel and be with our families that live in different states. And we just didn't know that our lives would be here. So, wherever you're at tonight and whatever you're thinking, go ahead and reach out and maybe ask those questions. And beyond all, share. We are a health-minded community. Tonight's call was part of our Habits of Health. So, thanks for tuning in and chipping in the chat. I saw it kind of going crazy there with people just sharing their own stories. Really, how cool is it to get healthy? How amazing and precious is it to share that gift with someone else? So with that being said, I just want to close. Everyone, have a very good night. Thank you so much for joining us. I know it's late on the East Coast, so Brooke, go get some healthy sleep. And I really want to genuinely thank each person who presented. I just really appreciate you. And you guys are making a big impact in the world. So have a good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.